Honey, these guys have been on to me about my fake beard. Like, I think they're starting to realize. So, like, can you make sure, maybe make it not look so good or whatever? Can you, like... Oh, hi guys. Well, that's awkward. So, today we have a video. Don't worry about that. That was nothing, okay? So, today we're going to talk about several different stories that didn't warrant its own video. You guys have probably seen videos like this that I've done before, and we're going to just discuss them and, you know, have a conversation. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, Is There No One Else is back. GG, boys and girls, good to see him back. He posted a video a week ago where he made some predictions and stuff and asked other content creators to do the same thing. Yes, that was a week ago. We're a bit late to it, but we're here. I didn't have a whole lot to add, that's why I didn't make a full video about it, and it's here. I did have a few little things. So one, he said Sea Serpents is going to become meta. I agree. I said that day one of patch notes. It's super strong. It's a crazy amount of damage from a one piece. But I think Dovra will also become very meta once people understand how it works, and a lot of people kind of get over the grind. It's a rough mythic to farm. Yeah, to give you an idea of where Dovra's at, I'm at 40k resistances in 3 damage sets. So yeah, it's a strong mythic, and people don't kind of understand that you can have pretty much 100% uptime on it, and once people will start to work that out, it's going to become stronger, more meta. Then he touched on Oakensoul and said that it was probably going to be one of the few times where ZeniMax made a balance change before an update. Sadly, I disagree. I think ZeniMax has made it pretty damn clear that they've, you know, doubling down on this. I found the whole attitude on the drop-down patch notes for the last Oakensoul buff to be kind of off-putting, I guess. You could definitely tell they were annoyed at the community. You know, we bitched about it being OP when it initially launched, then we bitched about it being super weak. Maybe ZeniMax, you can find a middle ground. Maybe then we wouldn't bitch, but hey, anyway. And then they kind of referred to people that could keep buffs up and stuff as sweaty, or they used the word sweaty. I can't exactly remember how it was. To hear a developer say that about, you know, a skilled player in their game really shows what they think of us. And as I said, is off-putting. So I don't think Oakensoul is getting nerfed. For every 10 people that understand Oakensoul is an issue, there's always one person that thinks it's completely fine. Generally, that person is running Oakensoul, and I understand you feel very strong and you justify it to yourself because you're giving up another bar and all this. But I will say this, at the end of the day, a 1-bar build shouldn't be stronger in any way than a 2-bar build. Unfortunately, it is. It is stronger in a lot of scenarios, and we're just starting to see them more and more and more. Like, it was, you know, just gank builds, but now it's DK builds, healers. Oakensoul is outperforming it in most areas, and that shouldn't be a thing. If you want a dumbed down version of the game, and let's be honest, that's what a 1-bar build is, it's a dumbed down version of the game, that's fine, that's your choice. But you should be at a disadvantage versus a skilled player that wants to put the time and the effort into the game. And we're going to touch on this a little bit later, but I have a lot more to say. Oakensoul needs addressing. Alright, Editing Johnny here. This video is already really long, so I'll try and keep this short. So since I filmed this video, I played a 1-bar DK build with Oakensoul. It is busted. Like, if I had done this before I filmed this video, it would be a lot more different. Oakensoul is so damn strong. It is unbelievable. I'm tankier, more damage. Just in every way, Oakensoul 1-bar DK beats my 2-bar build by an absolute shit ton. It's not even close. Not even close. Alright guys, that being said, I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update. And also, when I say Oakensoul won't be nerfed, I mean it won't be nerfed till next update. Alright, back to the video. Now, I will say this, I really hope that they don't dick it over for the PvE players. I think somewhere around what it is now is fine for PvE. For PvP, it's a problem. And how they could potentially address this is by adding PvE specific buffs. There is Slayer, there is a healing one, I think. So they could add these PvE specific buffs. If they gave it Major and Minor Slayer, that's 15% damage. That's basically making up if they got rid of Major Force. So there is ways of ZeniMax fixing this without screwing it over. That's kind of my stance on Oakensoul. Alright, boys and girls, let's talk about Old Sore Man's Bold Group video. And let's be honest, he was pretty pissed and he blamed bold groups and said they wrecked PvP and so on. He gave a lot of reasons why he thinks that. I'll have his video linked in the description. I'm starting to come to the belief that ZeniMax doesn't actually want to fix their bold group issue. Because if they did and they honestly wanted to fix it, there's a lot of things they could have done. But we've got token items, token sets, and it's kind of like them giving the visual of them wanting to fix bold groups without actually fixing bold groups. And this isn't new. Bold groups have been progressively getting worse and worse ever since Greymore. But I think the game's kind of reached its peak and people really are starting to see how broken healing is. And I see a lot of people bitch about max health and this and that. The core reason why these bold groups are so damn obnoxious is the healing and them stacking it. They're getting 40, 50k hots. How the fuck are you meant to kill someone that has 40k hots? And they're getting that because they're stacking heal on top of heal on top of heal on top of heal. Like, they don't need to run healers, they just slot one skill. And let's be honest, why wouldn't you? If you knew you slotting this one skill and hitting it all the time would stop you from dying, why wouldn't you do it? And that's unfortunately the mindset that ESO has bred into this game. And someone said to me a week ago, and I just haven't been able to get out of my head, is this is the one PvP game where the majority of people do not want to get better as a player. They do not want to take risks, they don't want to further their knowledge, they want a guaranteed win. And it's funny because there is no consequence to dying. Position, that's it. So, you know, I understand if you're across the map and you spawn spots forever away, I can understand you not wanting to die. When I'm standing outside a keep and there's 5 of yous up on the keep wall sieging me, there's probably something wrong. And I struggle with this because I personally cannot understand. But I do get human nature, and human nature takes the path of least resistance. That's what the mass majority are going to do, and unfortunately ZeniMax has made it able for these players to go down this path and be basically rewarded from it. You know, if the tables were flipped and being a really skilled player had mass advantages, and, you know, being a bad player had mass disadvantages, then you would see a lot more people try and grow as a player. We don't see that, and I see this when I post build videos. So many people want the build, but they don't want to understand the build. So they just want it given to them, they don't want to think about it. And if you're that kind of player, that is completely fine. But this comes back to Oakensoul and dumbing the game down. You should be disadvantaged. You shouldn't be as strong as a good player. But ZeniMax has shown over and over and over again that they want to reward bad gameplay. You know, it started with Syphis, getting rid of a block mechanic. Now we're getting rid of one bar. Like, what's going to be next? And that's the honest, scary thing here, is what's next? ZeniMax has a future for this game. They have a plan in their head, and unfortunately, they want to dumb the game down. There's no other explanation for the choices they have made over the little while. So, are bold groups wrecking PvP? No, Zos is wrecking PvP. At the end of the day, that's where our anger needs to be pointed, not at the player base. I get it, the player ganking you with a broken build is right there and Zenimax isn't there. So I get people reaching out and being frustrated, but point it Zenimax's way. I know it can be hard, and trust me, I know. Like, when you've had 5 hours of just crap PvP, I know how frustrating it can be and how much you just want to freaking scream and get angry at someone. That person needs to be Zos. And unfortunately, in this game, ZeniMax gets away with so much because of the misdirection of where the blame is laid. The future for healing, and my dream future, and the way I would love to see healing be treated, is one, healing gets can't stack. You can't stack multiple of the same heal. It's one of each morph. Two, I would love to see external external healing nerf. And what I mean by that, say, 50%, 60%, whatever it is, a pretty solid nerf to external healing, but give a way for a healer to get that back. So a healer actually means something, and if you want to be able to heal your group with crazy heals, then you need to give up something. Whether that's sets, whether that's CP, whether it's a combination of that. That, for me, is the dream future for healing. It makes healing more diverse, because you want to run more different classes with different heals. In a 12-man, you probably want at least a couple of each class with a couple different heals from each class. It brings diversity to healing. And two, by nerfing external healing and having it only be stacked into, it gives value and worth to healers. Because healers, let's be honest, are basically useless at the moment. You don't need them. So yeah, that's my future for healing, and I think if they did that, it would sort ball groups out, mostly. Now, organized 12-mans are always going to be strong. This game, since they've been gutting skill level, it's and making a lot of things kind of stronger in a way, it has benefited more group play. I can like it or hate it, but unfortunately that's the way it is. And fine. That's why we're building our guild, and we're going to run guild stuff. But anyway, boys and girls, let me know how you feel about anything I said. I probably just ended up rambling on for fucking 10 minutes, but hopefully I made the points I wanted to make. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Love yous.